Let's talk about an absolute legend, the 1988 Nintendo masterpiece, Mega Man 2. But we're not going to do a typical review. No. We're going to look at this thing as a piece of interactive art, one with a surprisingly rigid 14-part structure. Yeah, you heard that right, a sonnet. This whole idea, which comes from writer James Davis, is that this classic 8-bit game, with its 14 levels, actually follows the exact structure of a 14-line poem. I know, it sounds a little out there, right? How can a game about a little blue robot blasting other robots be anything like Shakespeare? Well, it all comes down to the structure. So, quick poetry lesson. A sonnet has three main parts. You've got the octave. That's the first 8 lines that kind of set everything up. Then, right in the middle, you get the volta, a big dramatic twist. And finally, you have the sestet, the last 6 lines that deal with the aftermath of that twist. Remember those 3 parts, because they're basically our roadmap for Mega Man 2. All right, so let's apply this. The first 8 stages of the game, that's our octave. This is where the game lays out its basic ideas and, kind of surprisingly, gives you a whole lot of freedom to figure things out. And what's so cool is this contrast you get right away. The controls couldn't be simpler, right? You move, you jump, you shoot. That's it. But the game immediately throws this huge, complex choice at you. Here are 8 bosses. Pick whichever one you want to start with. And that choice really, really matters. The whole game is basically a supercharged version of rock, paper, scissors. See, every boss has a special weakness to a weapon you get from, you guessed it, another boss. The real puzzle is figuring out the best order to take them down. Now, if you've played the game, you know what I'm about to say. The Metal Blade is just broken. It's so good. It works on Metal Man himself, it shreds Woodman, and it takes out Bubble Man. That's exactly why almost everyone starts with Metal Man. You beat him, you get his weapon, and suddenly the first part of the game is yours for the taking. So you've beaten all 8 Robot Masters. The octave is finished. And this is where the game hits you with its dramatic turn, the Volta. And it comes at you in the form of one of the most iconic pieces of video game music ever made. This is it. This is the moment everything flips. All that freedom you had in the first 8 stages, gone. The game's whole vibe, its structure, its difficulty, it all gets cranked up to 11, and it challenges everything you thought you knew. Picture it. You're on the stage select screen for the last time. Suddenly, Dr. Wily's fortress pops up. You move your cursor over, you press start, and bam! The game hits you with this piercing emergency siren. It's like an alarm bell telling you, okay, playtime is over. And then the music kicks in. Oh man, if you played this game back in the day, this comment says it all. The theme for Wily's Castle Stage 1 is absolutely legendary. It's this high-octane battle cry that lets you know, without a doubt, the real challenge has just begun. So the story goes, the composer, Takashi Tateishi, showed his early drafts to his boss, who basically said they sounded too cute. He was told to make it cooler, more like rock and roll, which makes sense since Mega Man's name in Japan is Rockman. And what we got was this driving, pulse-pounding track that perfectly signals the game's big turn. It is literally the sound of the Volta. And that brings us to the final 6 stages of the game, the sestet. The open-world feeling of the octave is completely gone, replaced by a brutal, straight-line gauntlet that will test every single skill you've learned. I mean, the change is just night and day. The octave was about exploration, learning the ropes, and building up your toolbox. The sestet? That's the final exam. The designers know you have every weapon and every item, and trust me, they are going to make you use them all. Let's just talk about one infamous room in the first Wily stage. You get to this giant pit, and you have to use item 1, the little floating platforms, to cross it. But the game demands a whole new kind of skill. You have to lay down the very first platform in midair while you're still hanging on the ladder. Nothing in the game prepared you for that, and you fall, over and over again. And if, and that's a big if, you finally get past that nonsense, what's waiting for you at the end of the stage? Only the guardian of the gate itself, the Mecha Dragon. This quote just nails the absolute terror of this fight. You're up against this massive, screen-filling dragon while hopping between 3 tiny little blocks over a bottomless pit. If the dragon touches you, you're dead. If its fire hits you and knocks you off, you're dead. It is a brutal, massive difficulty spike. But here's the really wild part. The Volta wasn't just happening inside the game. Mega Man 2 itself was a huge turning point for the entire franchise. Get this absolute landmark of a game, a sequel that Capcom hadn't even officially approved, was built by a small, passionate team in just 3 months. They were basically working on it in their spare time. See, the first Mega Man didn't sell very well. The series was pretty much dead on arrival. But then Mega Man 2 came out and was a massive hit, both with critics and players. It completely changed everything. It took the Blue Bomber from a forgotten side project and turned him into one of Capcom's biggest mascots, saving the series from being canceled. And you can see that impact right here. After Mega Man 2 blew up, the sequels just started rolling out. It created the winning formula, the 8 bosses, the toughest nails Wily stages that Capcom would use for years and years. It wasn't just a great sequel, it was the blueprint for the entire franchise. So when you look at it this way, Mega Man 2 really is more than just a game. It's an 8-bit sonnet. It's got this elegant 14-part structure that presents an idea, hits you with a dramatic twist, and then tests everything you've learned. And it kind of makes you think, doesn't it? What's the Wily Stage 1 moment in your favorite game? You know, that moment where the rules suddenly change, the music kicks in, and you just know things are about to get real.